Sarah went to her room. She needed some silence, some time to think. She had to admit that anything to end it with T sounded better than anything that didn't 11. Isn't bad really. At least it has more than one syllable. But then Sarah realized she'd have to spend a whole year being 12, and 12 sounded just awful. Nothing very exciting could happen to someone called 12. She supposed she needed to be a teenager. But that was too far away even to think about. It was a dilemma. Dilemma, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Whenever Sarah had a dilemma, her father would tell her to weigh the facts. She was never sure whether he was kidding or thought dilemmas really could be solved by putting facts on some kind of scale. Anyone Anyway, she never weighed the facts, but then she never solved any dilemmas either. Maybe there was something to that advice. Sarah took out her drawing pad and two colored pencils. She decided a table would be her scale to weigh the facts. The first column was labeled being a teenager and was in lavender because it would be wonderful to be a teenager. The second column was labeled being 11 and was in royal blue because the color was full of possibilities. The whole rest of the page was blank. Sarah started thinking about teenagers and 11-year-old so she could decide what to write. She wanted to list all the good things about being a teenager and all the good things about being 11. She could then compare the good things about each age and see which was better. The first thing she put in the teenager column was can go to mall by myself. That was a good one because Sarah most definitely could not go to the mall by herself. She kept making tries. Finally, the table looked like this. Sarah started to think about what she'd put in the being 11 column. Now that she was turning 11, she would have more responsibility for herself and others. She and, like her best friend, could be able to jog down to the park to play soccer. They could go anytime they wanted as long as it was before dark and they told their parents where they were going. Sarah was a good athlete, one of the fastest kids in the class, and great at the steady long jump. The park was more fun than the mall, but she had been dying to go to the mall by herself. It was definitely exciting to be able to go to the mall without your parents or your big sister. The few times that Kate had taken Sarah to the mall, she had made Sarah feel as though she was even younger than 10. Sarah had big dreams about walking into stories as a cool teenager. She would choose how long she stayed at each store, which to go tonight or to stay another 10 minutes just look at the kittens. As Sarah looked down her table's columns, she began to realize something. She liked babysitting because she could earn money. 16-year-olds got to babysit all the time. When Sarah turned 11, parents said she could babysit Noah and they would pay her. She would still be too young to babysit other people's children, but at least she could babysit Noah. Sarah thought that in that way she would be close to being 16. At 11, she could babysit Noah and earn money and buy the things she wanted, like blue nail polish. In fact, that was another way she would be like a 16-year-old. She could use her own money and buy things she wanted. It wasn't like an allowance with her parents still saying yes or no to what she bought. She would earn the money so the decisions about what she could spend it on would be hers just like a 16-year-old. Sarah completed the last line in the table. Can spend my money on what I want. That it was there in lavender and blue. At 11, she would be a whole lot closer to being 16 than she was at 10. Actually, if you look at it one way, 11 was only 5 words away from 16. That's when it dawned on her. 11. That's what she would be. Like a teenager, responsible, able to earn money and make her own decisions about how to spend it, but not yet a teenager in years. Besides, she thought it's more important to act older than to be older. Her dad was right. When you have a dilemma, all you have to do is weigh the facts. Sarah knew people might ask her what she meant when she told them she's 11, but that was no problem. She would tell them, oh, someday you will find out when you're 11. But of course they wouldn't because no one had ever been 11 before and probably no one would ever be again.